Every vote counts, where the power to shape the future lies in the hands of the people. The stakes have never been higher. Welcome to IntualityAI's Election Edge, your go-to source for the most accurate and insightful election predictions. Go vote! Here's Howard and Grant to tell you about exciting IntualityAI's predictions update.
Hi, and welcome to IntualityAI's Election Edge podcast, the short podcast that we have been doing for the last few months, looking at the presidential election and making predictions. So far, we have predicted that in each of our sessions that Harris is on the path to victory, but it is an incredibly close race that keeps changing. So, Grant, what is the latest as we are just 17 days away?
Well, Howard, things are changing fast. There is undeniably a surge, I'll call it, of Trump, especially in the swing states. And I'm going to show you that data, that those projections or predictions that are made by Intuality in each of those 7 states. But still, in the popular vote, Harris seems to have a steady lead. And so still today, Intuality is predicting a Harris victory, but Trump is gaining.
Okay, so let's look at that data. Okay, last time we looked at it, I believe Harris had a 3+ point lead. It looks like that's sort of shrunk in half.
Yeah, it's now down to about 1.5 points, I guess, and but she still maintains a lead. The left side of the curves there show the red one, of course, of the Republicans, the blue is the Dems, and it shows Trump having a surge here in these few weeks. So each of those little blips in the curve represents one day of predictions up to Election Day. And it looks like he could be short-term here anyway, be gaining, but might be falling back to about where it's showing, the 29 to 27.6, possibly by Election Day.
Yeah, 49 to 47.6, yeah, by Election Day. So what that chart shows, a spike there in the red line, and then that goes down somewhat. So it won't actually keep accelerating according to IntualityAI. Okay, what's happening in the swing states?
Well, I think first we'll take a look at further analysis of these 2 curves. And there are 4 that I'm showing here. And the basic outcome of all of this is showing that there is a surge of Trump, which is occurring, it seems, but it seems also to be retracting out probably a couple of weeks in the future here. So at the top, there's the one that was made back on the 8th of October, and it showed a rather strong surge, even though Harris was in the lead. So it showed a strong surge, and as it went forward with successive predictions by Intuality on the 15th of October, it showed Trump, as a result of that predicted surge, for him to jump in the lead by about 0.5 point. Yeah. But then back on the 16th, that surge sort of dwindled and brought them back down out a number of weeks to being about even. So right now, which is the bottom curve, is on the 19th, and it shows, as we've shown already, that Harris is in the lead, but there is a surge of Trump, but it dwindling out to Election Day.
Right, and there is variability here, obviously, and this is over like 12 days, so whatever happens over the next 17, I think is going to be important. And what else have we got?
I'll make one more statement about this. I get a lot of feedback from people who say, well, how could Intuality possibly do this kind of micro projections or predictions day by day? And it's a complex system like many other systems these days in AI, and it's almost impossible for us to decipher why it's coming out with these predictions, but they seem to be mirroring the activity of the 2 candidates in the markets or in the polling states right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's move on.
Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, let's move to the swing states. Well, that
Yeah,
has.
the swing state predictions are changing.
Hmm.
Uh, it's about steady from where it was predicted here about back last Wednesday. Um, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin all show on the left side there the actual predictions of Intuality for each of the two candidates, and showing that Trump is dominating about 5 out of the 7 states, and calculating, since those are winner take all, that amounts to about 35 electoral votes for Trump underneath that chart.
Mhm.
I think going to the right, adjusting those numbers for Intuality's confidence on each of its predictions, it shows somewhat of a lesser dominance by Trump when adjusted for its confidence in its predictions, making Harris pick up one state, that would be Arizona. But still, it's favoring Trump by 13 electoral votes. And then down the bottom, of course, is a repetition of the national predictions that I won't go over here, but the congressional vote predictions down at the bottom show that controlling Congress seems to be predicted to be swinging towards the Democrats, both in the predictions themselves and adjusted for its confidence value. So that might be another indicator of what's going to happen here.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of change over the last 3 or 4 days. I remember last time we were predicting the swing states not we, Intuality was predicting the swing states in favor of Harris quite considerably. So that's a huge, huge change. But if that can happen in 3 days, who knows what's going to happen in the next 3 days and the 3 days after that and the 3 days after that. So
Right.
probably the closest election in memory. I don't know, but it certainly seems that way to me.
Yeah, it is. I mean, taking the swing states and the predictions are showing here favoring Trump, but on the other hand, the popular election results or predictions showing it going the other way. It's very close, too close to call, but in fact, I'll remind everybody that Intuality called the election for Harris back on September 8th, I believe it was. So
Right.
it's sticking with that prediction.
Right. And again, just to remind people that there is no human interference in this analysis. This is done by the programming IntualityAI, what it does, and it is constantly churning out results constantly. And so this is the latest, and we'll be back in next week to give you the latest update, and who knows, probably anyone's guess at this point what they'll look like, right?
Yeah, and I just want to mention that if anybody wants to get these results, let me just mention these results are updated every 4 hours continuously, and you can get the updated results if you want to by downloading our Intuality AI app for both the Apple phone and Android phones, and it's free. So you just go onto our website at IntualityAI.com and follow the navigation button at the top and apply for the download of the app, and you can get these predictions free continuously right up to election day.
Great. Okay. Well, ever-changing situation, and we'll be back in a few days to give you the latest news on IntualityAI's prediction.